When I was in college, I met this girl named Tall, and I really liked her, and we became a couple very quickly. And she was leaving to go to Iowa for the summer, and I'd built a dulcimer by hand. I'd built a dulcimer, and I loved this dulcimer so much. I played it all the time, and it was my favorite thing. And I gave her my dulcimer. I said, "Here, take my dulcimer with you." And she gave me all the money she had because I needed money for the tolls back to New York. I'd borrowed a car, and there were tolls. And I was like, "But what are you going to eat?" And she said, "Don't worry about me. Just take the money." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." And I'm driving back to New Haven from New York, where I dropped her off at the train station. And she'd given me a necklace that I was wearing. And I ran over a squirrel. And at the instant that I hit the squirrel, my necklace broke and all the beads fell off my neck. And I was like, that's not a good sign. I just killed a squirrel and the necklace broke at the same time. And when Tall came back that summer, she didn't bring the dulcimer. She said she couldn't carry it because it was too heavy. And also she was pregnant, not from me, but from the guy whose house she was staying at. And our relationship quickly fizzled. And the way it fizzled was one day she brought this guy home and they started making out in the kitchen. And my roommates came and told me that my girlfriend had brought this guy over and they were making out in the kitchen. And they thought this was kind of really outrageous that she would do that in my house. We were living in the same house. And I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I went downstairs and there they were making out in the kitchen. And I was just like catatonically depressed and filled with jealousy and grief and rage. And my housemates were all like in my room trying to comfort and console me. And I just was like a basket case. And by this point, her and the guy had gone into her bedroom. We had separate bedrooms. And I knocked on the door and she opened it and said, "What?" I said, "I'm so upset." She said, "Well, what about it? What are you going to do about it?" I said, "I don't know. I feel like hitting you. I'm so mad." He said, "Well, if you want to hit me, you can." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, hit me. Go ahead." And I'd never hit a girl before, and I knew it was like something you're not supposed to do. And she knew it too. And she was basically saying, let's break this rule here and just go ahead and hit me if you want to so much. And so I hit her. And I hit her as hard as I could. And, I knocked her over. And she was like stunned I hit her that hard. She was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "You told me to hit you, so I hit you." And, we broke up that night. And she went out with that guy for years. And we kind of stayed friends. And I saw her a few times. And recently, my friend Arnold called her to talk to her about our time in college because we were thinking of writing a script about it. And she told him the story about me hitting her. But in her story, there was no mention of her suggesting that I hit her. I just hit her. And I was like, "What? I would never do that." And he said, "Yeah, she said that she was shocked that you did that because it didn't seem like something you would do." And I was like, "I can't believe she forgot that detail." He was like, "Yeah, she totally forgot that detail." And I was like, wow, this is why people don't get along. They just forget these really important details. And I was like, I wonder what details I've forgotten.